Assassination Classroom Season 2, Episode 6. Oh, it's test time again. I have a really good feeling about our chances in home ec. Feeling pretty good about ourselves. Pretty confident. Life just feels so easy and free. I'm glad you're saying this. I'm sort of feeling the same way. There's only 2 seasons. And we're living very freely and casually, and it's a lot of fun, and that's great. And yeah, there's a lot to do and a lot of hearts to break. 6th period, before and after time. Before and after time? This reminded me of Attack on Titan for a second. We've just turned these kids into physical machines with hearts of gold. This really was a huge emotional turning point. A major victory. Oh, maybe we flew too close to the sun. Flew too close to the old man. Uh-oh. Yeah, we still gotta focus on what's in front of us. How do you explain this? So we were jumping on roofs. That's not good. You don't want to do that. That's a relief, though. Yeah, we feel bad. You gotta be a little more cautious. We were feeling too good, and we paid the price. You can't be wielding your second blades on civilians. No, you can't make excuses. You just own up to it. They're all trying to flee. Let's not go down this road to making excuses. You slapped the crap out of all of them. I think you just injured their pride a little bit. It does kind of suck. I feel bad for them because they were feeling really good. And they deserve to feel good about their progress, you know? They deserve a win. It's a reinforcement. But also you gotta pay attention. Actually, I think the worst part of that wasn't the injury, because it's an accident. And accidents happen. Alright, you gotta be more cautious, whatever. The real danger there was the road they tried to go down to explain it. That it was in no way connected to their actions, and to go so far as to imply that they're victims. It can feel like a winning game, and I think sometimes it's framed or encouraged as a winning game, but trying to substitute goodness with things like pity or identifying ways in which you have it rough is a slippery slope, because one, it actually does nothing for you. Pain is not itself a virtue. And also, if you confuse it as one, you're incentivized to seek it out where it need not exist. What's interesting is this somewhat parallels the principle last episode. Like, you gotta go all the way and accept it. I remember my first mistake. Oh no! I gotta go back to the basics. Oh, he's really angry. It doesn't help. Speaking of taking responsibility. This might help with the gag order, though. This is actually great. Wow, teaching other people. You get to be in the role of the superiors for a little while, or the mentors. Yeah, they do that. Forbidden. Studying is way more than you would deserve. You're also going to get a ton out of this. You're going to have a lot more sympathy for Kuro-sensei and your other teachers for that matter. Yeah, they do that. Can't say I recall this part of teaching. What's your deal? No. Oh no. Yeah, I was wondering why she looked so big. I think you like it here a little bit too much. I think you should probably be aged out of this place. Community service. More important than midterms. Astoundingly. Huh, you're not gonna help me. You're just gonna hurt me like everyone else. I have a thing going here that you're interrupting. All these little kids fear me. I mean, look up to me. This wasn't part of the script. We gotta make it look real. We gotta sell it to the kids. How did he end up getting chloroformed and all that? This propaganda for science. Yeah, we're actually in the A class? Don't tell him. You don't gotta tell her that. It could be anything. A bit. So I'm trying to figure this out. This girl is like 14 years old in kindergarten. She probably could do it. She likes it here. Looks easy when you're sitting there. That's a reach, but let's do it. I don't want to go back. The bullying issue is terrible, and that's probably something that falls on the parents and administration. But on a character and life level, I wouldn't even necessarily frame it that way, that you need to face it, confront them, and beat them, overcoming them. I think the goal is to move on from it entirely. And if your actions and thoughts are dictated by something even in opposition to it or by running away from it, if it's occupying your attention and influencing your decisions, you're still beholden to it, and those people still have power over you, and you have to get out from under their thumb. If we come away from bad encounters with people full of hate, even if it's fully justified, they have way too much power over you. It can seem like the hatred of something, fighting against something, is a victory over that thing, when actually the real victory might be freedom from it entirely. This is such a direct metaphor. It's like an IRL Aesop fable. Don't bother climbing. You'll just get stuck in a tree. Pretty cool. So ungrateful. Why do we fall? She picked a great mentor, Nagisa, who's always so positive and loving and sees right through to the heart of people. It's really sad to see sometimes because kids run this loop where if they are really hurting and they have problems with trust or trying to prove something or trying to find boundaries or whatever the reason for acting out, the result is that a lot of people who actually could be really good to them don't want to bother with it. I mean, this is true more than just kids. It's probably like romantic relationships, friendships, everything. I see this sometimes with people who, for one reason or another, have just had a bad experience socially. They have the overall view that people are dangerous and hard to deal with and that there are just so many negative qualities that are frequently exhibited by almost everyone, not realizing that that affects their behavior in a way that selects for that kind of person, because the people who aren't like that are kind of put off a little bit and unnerved by the weirdness of that external vibe that's coming off of them. It takes someone like Nagisa to see through it, to not be put off by these kind of external displays. Everyone starts from a lowly place, and that also falling is not the end of the world. You can mess up. It's fine to mess up. It's harmful and just untrue that you're going to get everything right off the bat. Like patience. That could have been a whole arc, but it was like half an episode. Wait till you see what they've done for you and your kids. That's going to be the glue. That's going to unify them. When he sees the happiness of his students. And also this mega mansion they built. Gotta raise our rates. What is this, like real estate show? Oh man, this is giving me uncomfortable flashbacks from Invincible. This is up to code. Or hitting each other. Throwing stuff, up to you. I mean, this is amazing, but I feel like maybe this isn't what will be the real glue for the principal. And a brand new bicycle! Well, really? Now you don't even need your leg anymore. So nothing bad happened. Alright, it's time for me to finally formally accept that I was wrong about her. Ritsu has been very helpful and useful and overall positive and pleasant person. I won't admit that I was wrong, but I'll say she's okay. It's overwhelming. It is. Look at how happy the kids are, though. This is weird. This is not perfect. Yeah, we don't need to recycle everything. Yeah, well, okay, if you say that directly, you seem kind of like a curmudgeon. You're supposed to be surprised by it. Oh my god, you kids are great. You finally got this girl out of my school. It's been half a decade. Not very good bullies then, are they? Not that tough. You should join our high school later, if there's still a world left. I don't think it's obliviousness. And I tried. I really tried. I think they've paid their penance. And it started with admitting the wrongdoing.
それは中間テスト前日だった。
You know what? I think it's okay.
結果は惨敗。
I think it's okay.
E 組の大半はトップ圏内から弾き出された。
I think we got what we needed out of the testing thing. And I think we used that time very well. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It wasn't because we slacked off or like lied to ourselves about our ability. We selectively chose to do something different. That's not a failure. That's a calculated move. I think there's a bit of an asymmetry in the way we get this information because what we most often see is people at the very top of things. That's why we're seeing them. The message is like, I never give up on the thing. And so the way that gets kind of trickled down is if there's something you're trying to do, never stop doing it. And there absolutely is something to that and it's a powerful force. But I think what's lost a little bit in there is you don't have all the information when you start out. You don't know what the things are yet. And you also are maybe not fully aware of why you're drawn to this particular thing. It might turn out not to be the best vehicle to that thing. It might turn out that you actually don't like what you get out of that thing. So stopping something when it's appropriate, I think actually is a very valuable and important tool. The real failure is like you just give up on all pursuit entirely. You stop moving. In this episode, you don't bother even trying to climb a tree. I think a good litmus test is whether or not you've carried out an appropriate test of your hypothesis, right? Like you think, I really want to try this because I think it will be this thing, and I think it will be this amount of work, and I'm willing to do this amount of work to get that thing. If you just don't do any of the work towards it and you stop doing it, nothing has really been discovered about the thing. You just kind of quit it. But if in doing it, you're like, you know, this actually isn't really for me. But this gave me the idea that I can do something similar, but like pivot a little bit in this direction. Or I set out to do everything I said I was going to do, and it didn't have the outcome I thought it would have. Now I can either formulate a new strategy with updated information and commit to that, or I can go back to the drawing board. That's strategic. And it still, I think, is forward progress even if you're changing direction. The key ingredient, as is often the case, is probably just real honesty about what that is. Whether or not that's really what happened, and it's really what you think is the best move, or it's being used as an excuse. You don't want to be like jumping around to different things just because it got a little bit difficult. Though I wonder if Karma also failed. I bet Karma did well because he's been secretly studying. It doesn't feel great, but I mean, what are the real stakes or costs here? A little bit of pride, some taunting. We don't really care. I mean, we shouldn't care at least. I think we're perfectly happy now to just stay in our class. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, that was built pretty well. Early preparation. Oh, you saw that, huh? That's embarrassing. You're not supposed to know how hard I wanted it. They were all busy, yeah. We were busy, like, actually improving the world. He just salvaged all their pride. Yeah, single-handedly. You struck with that, right? Just his victory alone kind of muted their whole point, their whole thing. No more parkour. Yeah, not for our ego either. It's not for beating Class A. Interesting. They're kind of linking that to a much bigger thing. It's not just caution, it's like intent. They talk a lot about blades in the show. To bring in ReZero a little bit, there's the idea of all of your intent being behind your blade swing. There's a reason for this. You want to take the things you've learned and the ways you've grown and use them to bear fruit. And if you can feel, even for a moment, the significance and want to bear really good fruit and do really good things, it makes the struggle seem a lot more trivial. And it has a way of stripping out a lot of the things that are just superficial, like ego battles with Class A. This, I think, they also can smell. You could have killed him, but you chose the meat. Way to fail up. It's the only 100 I need. Negative bloodlust. As if that's normal. Really, it means so much more. Genial bloodlust we have evolved. Yeah, this. Wait, was he human once? Or was that the woman? I'm confused. Is that him or his girlfriend? It's a terrible and crushing feeling to realize the gravity of your students' lives because of all the things it means you'll have to do. It was such a great setup, delivered at such a perfect time to have Karma be the one to pass the exams. In an episode about focused intent, not taking things for granted, having a larger vision, letting lesser things like comparisons and status strip away in the light of what you are, or at least what you can be, and the real things that you can do. Speaking of terrible and beautiful weights, that's another one because you're then more compelled to take it seriously. And then if you're taking it seriously, you have to give it more. Once you see it, it's hard to undo it. And they can come in a pretty pretty heavy price. But like, there is a trade-off that's worth it, which is that you're seeing the beauty, you're understanding it. You actually have some significance. There's purpose and meaning. One of the revelations I've had over the past couple of years, I used to think the pain of life came from its lack of meaning. And then I realized it's the other way around. Life having no meaning is easy. It's less pain. The real pain is realizing the real weight of your life and what you have to do to live up to the responsibility of that.